Instantly, as soon as the path was clear, sped right up. I always said I want the speed choice of hurry with this lane choice of standard. Wow, that's very fast. Oh, look at that. Oh, debris. Okay. Good morning, everybody. It's been a while. I've been waiting for version 14. I was pretty sure nobody cared about version 13.2.9 videos when all the test YouTubers had 14. So I held off. But last night I got version 14 on my car, version 14.1.3 to be exact. So we're going to do a trip and see what's different. Here's all the release notes. I will screenshot and put them on the screen. You guys can check them out as you see fit. The big difference, of course, is the start self-driving button is now moved, and it's just a tap. You don't have to hold it. Brake confirm is off on default, by default, which is kind of awesome. There are now 5 driving modes instead of the 3 that we had before, and the car will now park for you at a destination. You can choose curbside, front door, basically, and park in a parking lot. Or it'll be a parking garage, and it's supposed to be able to park at a supercharger for you. I've got 2 of those today, so we'll check both of those out too. So today I'm going on my Cass route. I guess it's my Bridgman route. I start here in Grand Rapids, I go down to Cassopolis, I go to Niles, I go to Bridgman. It wants me to stop in Stevensville and charge, and then I'll come back to Grand Rapids. It's going to be 292 miles, supposedly. So we'll see how that shakes out. I'm really curious how energy efficient the car is going to be today. It's not going to be apples to apples because it's 52 degrees outside. That does affect everything. I'm going to start out in... that's a good question. I'm going to start out in hurry because that's what the car was set to before. Auto steer, traffic aware, all of that stuff is still available, and you still have to be in park to change them. So none of that is changed. I don't see anything else that's really changed. I'm kind of wary. I can no longer tell the car exactly how fast to go. Start self-drive is grayed out. So I wonder if there's a problem with my cameras at the moment. So if we go to service and camera preview, seems okay. It also seems okay. There, it's good. So I'm just going to press the button and go. So it says parking lot is where I'm going to, and that's a good thing. Because I would like it to just go to a parking lot and park. We're going to Cassopolis first, which has always been kind of an issue for the car. The car always wants to go to the front door. And especially when I leave, it wants to go out the back way of the parking lot instead of the front way. So I'm really curious what the difference is going to be. And I'm so used to driving on hurry that I'm going to start with hurry. But I promise you I'm going to hit every one of the new driving modes. Sloth, chill, standard, hurry, and Mad Max. Apparently you can just pick what you want. You can do curbside or park. And they've got a parking lot, so the car just automatically chose that, which is kind of nice. And as soon as it was clear, we went. That's pretty good. I kind of have a feeling that my new profile is going to be standard, but we will see. I left the house at 83%. First facility is 1 hour, 40 minutes away. It's 99 miles, and I'll get there at 35%. So in less than 2 miles, we've done 4 lane changes already. Now, past version, right here, it would always go 42 miles an hour. But be stuck there. Couldn't go any faster. Now, there's no brakes. We'd have to jump in here, really. But there's no real brakes between any of these cars that we can get into, because we have to take the exit right up here, which is 0.2 miles away. Car's going to go for it. That's good enough. Kind of forced its way in there. Hurry in the past would stay in that lane until it had to like search for a spot to get over to take the exit on the right. So this is another plus in my book. This I probably wouldn't do, but it's understandable. This car is going real slow. Easily got around, put the blinker right back on. So in the 7 or 8 miles that I've been on the highway, seems like Hurry wants to go 82 miles an hour. I think that works out to about 18% over the speed limit. I like that it changed lanes there. It's going to change right back most likely. Surprisingly enough, it's not. And yeah, it wants to be in the middle lane. There's no reason. Nobody's behind me. No one was behind me until I got in front of that car. And no one was in front of me in this lane, and it wasn't ending. And I like that the car sees the truck is coming over, so it just jumps, gets out of its way. No slowing down and waiting. It just made the decision and went. I love that. Yeah, the car's still trying to find the fastest route. So on version 13, if I thought the car was going too fast, I could just roll this scroll wheel down and it would change the maximum speed it could go. Now I have to change the driving profile that it's set to. And the reason that this is happening is because Tesla views any human input as error prone, meaning that the human can mess up the whole system by making adjustments or changing settings or whatever. So if you take away the human's ability to change things like the max speed or the offset or anything like that, then the system is more in control, less likely to mess up. That's Tesla's view of it. And I can see where they're coming from. It makes a little bit of sense. Instantly, as soon as the path was clear, sped right up. All right, nobody's behind me. Let's see what standard looks like. Oh, I don't know if you saw the regen pop on right there, but as soon as I put it down in standard, it slowed down. So it went from 82 to 80. So that's about 11, 12%. And then let's try chill. So again, it slowed down, which is sad, and put on the blinker and got in front of the person we just passed. It slowed down drastically there. So we're going 2 miles an hour over. I'd say that's probably about a 2-3% offset. Speeding choices, the speed it decides to go. I highly doubt that it's a set value. I think it's a percentage. If I was the programmer, that's the way that I would do it. This is annoying me, so I'm putting it back in standard, and immediately the car speeds up and jumps lanes. Honestly, let's go to Mad Max. So there's Mad Max. So the car does speed up. I didn't get pinned to the back of my seat or anything. And it's still okay with driving in the travel lane, getting out of the passing lane. I like that. But it's basically doing the same speed that Hurry was doing. It's actually 1 mile an hour slower. I would have assumed it would have pegged itself to 85 and just stayed there. Oh, there we go. So I'm surprised by 84 miles an hour. The car will do a max of 85. 84 is 20%. Like, if it needs to, will it hit 80? Okay, it will. It will hit 85. I'm going to drop us back down to Hurry just to see what happened. Yeah, it slowed down immediately. And it stopped at 82. So I think it wants to go 82 in Hurry. So if I had to guess, I'd say Sloth is 0% over. Chill is 2 to 3% over. Standard is 8 to 10% over. Hurry is 15 to 18% over. and Mad Max is 20% to the max that you can drive, 85. So I guess in a roundabout way, Tesla gave me my Chill Plus and Standard Plus profiles that I was asking for. That's kind of cool. They, of course, didn't call them what I expected them to call them, but it is what it is. So Sloth would be the way I'd expect Chill to have worked in the past on version 13. Drive exactly the speed limit, don't do any lane changes unless absolutely necessary. Chill, the new Chill is the way that I would think Chill Plus would have worked, where it goes just a little bit faster. It'll change lanes if it decides that it's going way too slow. You know, like if the max speed that it wants to go to is 72, but the car is doing 55 or something in a 70, then it'll probably change lanes to pass somebody. I'm making up hypotheticals here, so whatever. The new Standard is the way Standard always should have been. Just a little bit fast, going with the flow of traffic, that kind of thing. Favoring the right lane as much as possible, passing when necessary. The new Hurry is the Standard Plus that I was talking about before, where it's slightly faster, but more aggressive with the lane changes. I always said I want the speed choice of Hurry with the lane choice of Standard, because I always stay over there as much as possible. And then we've got Mad Max, which is just insanity to the max. So I'm kind of happy about this. Of course, it requires way more testing, and I'm still going to be the same guy who calls out when the Tesla messes up and calls out when the Tesla does good. So that's not going to change. I guess the question in the future is, when the car becomes unsupervised, will these driving modes still be there? Or will you do something like, I need to be at my destination at a certain time, and the car will do its best to get you there then? Like if you're late, if it takes 20 minutes to drive there and you're supposed to be there in 18 minutes, will the car try to make up the 2-minute difference? So you just click on the screen there, you get your speed profile, so you can select them here, and you can select what you want to do when you get there, how you want to park. You can also do the same with the scroll wheel, going up and down, changes the profile mode, and you can also do the same thing going left and right. Oh, I didn't really mean to do that. Going left and right as we could before. So I think they're trying to change the functionality of this right scroll wheel. They just haven't completely figured it out yet. I like how FSD recovered right there. I accidentally put us down to chill, trying to show things off. And it slowed down and put on the blinker, and then I put us back to hurry, and it said, oh, well, I guess I don't have to be over there. And it canceled the blinker and sped back up. And then as soon as it was clear, got back into this lane. That was a great failover. FSD hands-free mode is off. So there you go. I stared at the screen for way too long. I was pointing at the screen. That was my first nag. So it still nags. And honestly, if I'm thinking about it, that was roughly the same amount of time as version 13 would have given me to mess with the screen. And FSD Supervised hands-free mode on. And it's calling it hands-free now. I didn't look, but the website, the user manual, all of that stuff would say keep your hands on the wheel at all times, even with FSD on. But now it says FSD Supervised. It's never called itself FSD Supervised before, and it's never said hands-free mode. It called itself attention monitoring. So even Tesla's saying it's all right to take your hands off the wheel. About a month ago, I got an update of the map data, and I noticed that the car does way better on certain areas than it did before. It was still version 13. The only thing that changed was the map data, which is amazing. See, now they're moving. We could speed up, but we're probably going to stay at 82 and stay right here. Okay, I'm good with this. It took longer than I think it needed to make that decision, but it still made the correct decision. Man, that's great. That's so great. It didn't even need to make that lane change, but the fact that it did and realized that it didn't need to and it got right back over is amazing. Yeah, pass the semi. Get out of the passing lane. Travel in the travel lane. So freeway is going to end in 1 mile. Let's see how Hurry behaves on the surface streets. I'm really curious how it's going to react to speed zone changes. So it thinks the speed limit is 45. It's definitely not yet. I didn't see a single speed limit sign. Yeah, it says 55 ahead. So it's definitely right to continue to go at the 80. But now we're in 55. It is slowing down, but it's just as slow as version 13 was. I really think it's only slowing down because there's cars in front of us. Sad. So it looks like that's still going to be a thing where I'm complaining that I want the Tesla to slow down before it gets to that speed limit sign. So 72 and a 55 is crazy. 73. But again, I wouldn't be able to do this if the cars in front of me weren't doing it. 20 over. That's like super ticket land. So this car got me up to 75 and it's staying there. So I'm going to drop it down to standard. And okay. I was like, it's not responding. Gross. I would hope that would drop me down to like 65 range. Might have to go to chill. It's funny how I went from the cars driving too slow to the cars driving too fast. Wow, that's very fast. On the highway, I didn't mind all that because that's how I drive on the highway, but chill is doing 11 over, but if I hit sloth, it would go right down to 55. There's got to be an in-between. That's just not good enough. I would think chill would do around 58. Standard should do maybe 60. Hurry would do 65, 66. And if you really wanted to go 20 over, you'd pop it up to Mad Max. This is crazy. I'm in chill. So if I go back up to standard, does it speed up? Yeah, it sure does. Chill shouldn't get you a ticket. Let's put it like that. I'm going to switch lanes just to see if that car is causing me to go fast or not. I mean, it doesn't appear to be. So I'm going to put us back over there. Yeah, it's still doing 64. So nobody's behind me. I'm going to drop us down to sloth. And it full. Oh, that wasn't full. Pretty close to full regen to slow us down exactly to 55. So now that I've reset the expectation, let's see if putting it up in chill will speed us back up to 65 plus. No, it seems content staying at 55. So I found another situation where the car just gets stuck. Standard. Yeah, that's too fast. Chill again. Slowing back down. Okay, okay, okay. So it was just stuck in that I'm going super fast mode. 57, that's about what I would expect chill to do. Standard. Hurry. This is more what I would expect it to do. And then Mad Max just for grins. And it seems to be staying at 66. We were going through an intersection. As soon as we passed the intersection, it started to speed up. Yeah, 68. 69. Definitely too fast. So I'm going to put us back in standard and pray it slows me down. Didn't get stuck at the faster speed again. So just like version 13, when it got stuck doing a fast speed, even though the speed limit changed. Say we went from 55 to a 35. It saw the 35, it caught it, it displayed it as 35. It would still do the 55 that it was doing before. That is still an issue. I think this is the highlight of my channel, is that I find errors when you're driving the car long distances. Most of the YouTubers that I watch are just around their city or around a specific city where they take it on these obstacle courses to find the most busy and the hardest places for FSD to travel in. And that's not what I'm about. I have to go to these places. I'm going to show you what the car does in the real world. And I think that's why my channel is different, set apart from everybody else's. And in fact, if there's something that you'd like to see that I'm not giving you, put it down in the comments. I will happily change. So I don't know if anybody saw my post, but I am now going to start driving 4,000 miles a month instead of the 3,000 that I was doing. I've got a new facility, well, 2 new facilities that are opening up in Escanaba, Michigan, right up here. So I live there, and I'd have to drive all the way up there. It's 480 miles one way. So those 2 facilities alone are going to add 1,000 miles to my month. Oh, so now you're going to see a lot more driving. And I get to go over the Mackinac Bridge on FSD. So wide load up here. He's off to the right side of his lane. And yes, we tuck over to the right side of ours. That's beautiful. That was a thing 13 would do. So that's not that different, but I'm glad to see that it hasn't regressed. I still feel like that blinker was way too soon. I mean, it was 0.2 of a mile. So the car thinks it's 25 on this road. No, jumped up to 55, okay. But the fact that it's still displaying incorrect speeds, kind of sad. Kind of sad. You guys let me know down in the comments. When the car is going way too fast because it's in hurry mode and I drop it down to standard or chill or whatever, should I count that as a wheel touch? And don't just say, yes, it's a wheel touch. Give me your reasons why. Oh, hey, dirt road. See, that's nice. Car saw a dirt road coming up and it slowed down dramatically for it. But I do like the fact that it is 55 on this road and the car is doing 46, 47 just to match the road conditions. I think that's amazing. Oh, there it is. Apply slight turning force to the steering wheel. So it does still make sure that I'm moving around. If you stay still for way too long, it will nag you. So that's not changed either. I don't know if that's good or bad, honestly. I find that very annoying because sometimes I do just zone out and stare at the road. Yeah, 62 is great. But I really I mean, for full FSD, I shouldn't have to change from hurry on the highway to standard on the surface streets. Shouldn't have to do that. I bet the getting stuck at highway speeds thing only happened because that was the end of the highway and it smoothly transitioned into surface streets. So we went from highway speeds to 55 miles an hour. The car wasn't really expecting that, didn't know what to do, but if we had like an exit ramp that had a stop sign at the end of it and then the car picked up again, it probably wouldn't have gotten stuck at the faster speeds. So that's a thing to look out for. This is another thing. It's been 25 on this road every time I've come down it in version 13 and previous. And I think that's fixed to 55 the entire way now. There it is. It did for a second, and then it went right back to 55. It was still highlighted in blue as if it was speeding, but it's not. So yeah, it just did it again. It flashed to 25 and right back to 55. So it should park me here. It's going to the parking lot. It should just find a parking spot for me. Will it be the one that I would have chosen? Probably not. Do I care? Absolutely not. Now, they do have two sets of parking lots. Visitors this way, employees that way. So if the car goes that way and it's signaling right, then it's not correct. We should be parking over there. But I'm going to let it do its thing. And then if it's wrong, I'll just park it myself where it should be. Okay. Seems a little too far to the left. Okay, I can't really complain about that too much. It is too close to the left. Or maybe not. Well, it is. It's closer to this line than it is to that line. You use my finger. You see, there's more space on that side than there is on this side. It looks pretty close, though. But this is employee parking. This is not visitor parking. And I am not an employee for this place. So I'm going to move. So yes, it parked, and it did a really good job of it. It wasn't a perfect job, but it was a really good job, especially based on what version 13 would do. Version 13 would have thrown me crooked into a handicap spot. That would have been real funny. That trip was 101.2 miles, took me an hour and 39 minutes. I used 268 watt-hours per mile. So far, I think it drives too fast on hurry mode on the surface streets, and hurry mode is perfect now on the highway. Anyway, I'm going to knock this place out. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, just got in the car and it started raining. Perfect. Whatever. At least I get to see how FSD performs in the rain. This little sprinkle, I don't expect it to be too much of an effect on the car, but let's see. Next place is 23 minutes, 17 miles away, and I'll get there at 34%. So now all I have to do is touch the button, and we're in FSD. I don't have to long press or anything. And we're leaving the way that I always wished we would before. That's good news. So since it's a lot darker than it was when I went in the facility, I'm not going to wear my sunglasses, so now we can see what it looks like with the eye tracking monitoring. So it thinks it's 25 here, which is correct. As soon as we turn, it should be 55. I'm still in standard, and yes, it got to 55. Camera visibility limited. Clean all dirt and debris from the camera. And it gave me a snapshot of it. So that is the left pillar. Yeah, that's the one that's bouncing around. Huh. Okay, you're good. It's stopping. You can go to intermediate. Perfect. Now give me one wipe. Perfect. Oh, we've got 2 lanes here. The car wants to drive 62. Will it pass? Yes, it will. It's still taking its sweet time deciding to do that, though. I feel like we could have picked the faster lane a long time ago. Gotten up to 62, been around this GMC a lot sooner. Just one of those things, because on the back roads, they usually have passing lanes. And the passing lanes are not very long. So if you're going to pass the person in front of you, you need to basically start at the very beginning so you're not slowly passing them and then suddenly run out of lane and they want to merge back over. This is where getting rid of the top speed would come into effect. Even in standard, where it seems to want to set its max to 62, it should just speed up a little bit. Pay attention to the road, still nagging me because I took my eyes off the road for too long. So I feel like the nag hasn't changed. Oh, look at that. Well done. So they turned out in front of us because they couldn't see around the farming equipment there. And the car just reacted by slowing down and waiting for them. Well done. It didn't slam on the brakes, didn't lurch me forward because it wasn't necessary. The car saw it and did the appropriate reaction. All right, here's the infamous intersection. Will it go around and come back? That's what it looks like it's going to do. We're not turning left at the intersection. We are turning left at the U-turn turnaround. So, hooray. But this was a map data fix. It wasn't a version 14 fix. I just have to make that clear. All the way over. Beautiful. Good lane choice, everything. Car's turning right? Yeah. Wow, even before I can say anything. This car's turning right at the light. What is the appropriate thing? We would probably get over here to get out of its way, or to have it get out of our way. But then those 2 cars that were in front of us also changed lanes, but slowed down in ours. So the car handled that perfectly. So let's see where it's going to park us this time. Standard parking lot. That's what we're looking for. And apparently, if you set something once, the car will remember that. So if you set it to curbside, and then the next time you come back, it'll still know that you want to be dropped off at curbside. So version 13 would always take me to that other row. I can't complain about that. It's pretty hesitant. I feel like 1 mile an hour is just a little bit too slow. It could be because of the leaves. I don't really know. But it did a perfect job parking it. So, hey, I'll give that a pass. All right, got here at 34%. Next facility is 37 minutes, 28 miles away. I'll get there at 23%. It's saying I'll get to the supercharger in Stevensville at 21%. So we're still doing pretty good. That drive was 253 watt-hours per mile and 17 miles. So we're doing all right. Sun's coming back out, of course. Surprise, surprise. It'll probably rain again. It's supposed to be spotty all day by the time I come back out. So I'm going to knock this place out. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, I'm sitting at 32%. I sat here dealing with emails while the car was preconditioning, so it drained some battery. I also turned the AC on because it's hot in here now. The sun was beating down on us. In fact, I'm going to change this so that hopefully it's a little bit better. And I'm going to put my sunglasses back on. All right, next place, 37 minutes, 28 miles away. Just touch. That's way better. I like that a lot. And it should just go. Oh, all right. Don't know what we were swerving on. That was pretty aggressive. But the fact that it'll make a move like that kind of makes me feel a little bit better. Okay. I don't know where that one came from. Did it think the stop ahead sign was an actual stop sign? Oh, gotta make a complete stop. Would have been able to make that without the complete stop, but here we are. Now we've got to wait a while. We could go out in the median. We probably won't. We also have to worry about this car in front of us, which is probably why we're not going out to the median. Clear from the right, but if we go now, we could go, but nope. All right, homie, you do your thing. I'm going. I hit the accelerator because the car was just sitting there like it was crazy. So, yeah. I mean, it really gave up like 2, maybe 3 chances to go. There were people behind me. That was the only reason I hit the accelerator. That was a tough call. We were at our stop sign first, but across a divided highway like that, letting the person going straight, the people that were across from us, letting them go straight before we took the left, is probably the safest thing. So now I have to remember to put it up in a hurry because the car only wants to go 75. So up we go. So somebody's passing us. We're doing the max of 82 that hurry seems to want to do. Will it speed up, taking its cue from that car? Or will it just be like, whatever. I'm okay with whatever. Another thing I'm noticing is that it does try to go as fast as possible. It hasn't, as far as I've noticed, it hasn't gone 82 and then slowed down to 78 and then just creeped up and down all around. That is a very welcome addition. Is it going to cancel? It should cancel. Good. I think it let that go on too long, but good. Now they're pulling away. Great. I was going to say, are we going to get behind them? The car does seem to react faster. At least on version 13, I got half my sentence out. Maybe 3/4 of my sentence out before the car did what I was talking about. Versus on version 13, I probably would have said, they're pulling away. Are we going to get behind? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So it's probably a second, maybe 2 faster, which really makes a difference. I forgot. Got to go down to standard. Car just took right off. So this is the other problem. It is 55 here. The car still thinks it's 50. And it's doing its standard speed of 56. Which is technically 1 over the speed limit. So I'm going to put it in hurry and see what it wishes to do. So there's someone in front of me keeping my speed in check. I'm still in hurry and I'm okay with the speed we're going. I don't feel like we're riding too close. That's like a 3-second follow distance. So as long as there's someone in front of us keeping our speed in check, hurry is completely fine. But that's not always the case. Shoots off at 68, that's crazy. Where are you gonna park me? It'd be nice if it went into one of these semicircle spots. Not that one. They're all full, never mind. So over there it is. Pack me in here. Why are you making... Ah, you jerk. Hey, recovered nicely from that. Why is it making me apply force to the steering wheel when I'm in a parking lot? That's nuts. But yeah, I disengaged and re-engaged and it started right back up. That's kind of awesome. It was probably the worst leg of the day. So the car swerved around an invisible something, and then it slammed on the brakes at the stop light or stop sign ahead sign. I'm probably going to get quickly annoyed with needing to go between standard and hurry on highways and surface streets. I got here at 20%. That was a 29-mile drive. Took me 37 minutes. I used 284 watt-hours per mile. So far today, I've driven 148.8 miles. I've used 278 watt-hours per mile all day. That last leg was pretty windy. I could feel the car blowing all over the place. So next place is 17 minutes, 15 miles away, and I'll get there at 14%. It says it'll be a 15-minute charge. So let me knock this place out. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, that was the last facility of the day. I had done. So I'm going to go get something to eat, go charge the car. Could have swore I hit that button. Guess it's got to be very, very accurate on that. So off we go. That was a good way of getting out of here. I like that. 15 minutes, 15 miles to get to the food place. And then the supercharger is less than a mile from that. "13 miles. I will put us in Mad Max just to see what happens." Man, it's windy. Ooh, baby. So if the car is hit its max, it won't go any faster than this. Car's doing a good job keeping me in my lane, even though it's getting blown all over the road. It's pretty impressive. Car's doing very good. Very good at lane choices. It's like, I've got this middle lane. There's no need for me to hang out in the passing lane unless I'm actually passing. That is peak perfection. That's what I've always been begging for. Even on Mad Max. That's great. How are we going to handle this? That's what I would hope for. Well done. Yeah, Mad Max is pretty aggressive. I like it. It's doing 20 over in a construction zone. That would be a massive ticket. Oh, debris. Okay. Object in the road. Thought that was going to be fixed, but not. That was a smoother takeover. Because I just jerked the wheel. and it didn't really fight me so much as it just gave up control. It was a stiff wheel, but it felt different. I've got it set to park in the parking lot, so that's my bad. But I want to take some time and place a mobile order. So I'm just going to pull over right here real quick. And I'll be back in a sec. That's super fast. Stopping at the window. Thank you, sir. Okay, I'm done. Go forward. Put the window up. All right. Stepping on the accelerator. Does it know that there's a second window? Pretty far away. I'm getting us closer. All right. Got my food. Let's go to the supercharger and hope the car parks me. I'm impressed that it stopped at the first drive-through window. I am not impressed that it didn't continue after I was done. I mean, I look forward, I put the window up. This is the wrong way. Whatever. I look forward, I put the window up. The car just sat there. I feel like I shouldn't be going this way. Yeah, this is wrong. Nobody's coming. That doesn't make it right, but whatevs. Yeah, pick that one and then leave that way. Perfect. Should have turned left out of the drive-through lane and it would have been fine. All right, 3 cars coming that way. And good to go. I am still in Mad Max mode. So there's a car pulling out. I can pick any of these spots. It can pick any of these spots. I don't know why it's picking the one that it's picking, but as long as it parks me in one, I don't care. Yeah, door side service. That's beautiful. Let me get juicing. I'll be right back. All right, it wants me here for 9 minutes. I'm probably going to be here a little bit longer because I'm going to eat and then I'm going to go. Plus, it's windy and I don't know how the car's going to react. It seems like it's going to be a headwind and I don't want to lose power halfway home or whatever. All right, I'll be back when this is done. Okay, all done charging. As I suspected, I overcharged. I will now get to the other supercharger at 24%. So pushing the button and off we go. It is 1 hour and 15 minutes away. 82 miles. Okay, that was very awkward. We started going, you hit the brakes. I guess that's what they describe as brake stabbing. Hit the brakes, let it go, hit the brakes, let it go, hit the brakes. Then we came forward and did the same routine over again. And of course it was because the car couldn't see from the left, but the extra braking was not necessary. Now, we can go through here. We just have to go this way. Car was not following detour correctly. I'm still in Mad Max. FYI. Half a mile, gotta go all the way over. It's going to attempt it. It can do it. One more. This will be fine. We could stay here. Excellent. Well done. Well done. There we go. I was wondering if that was going to happen. So it's raining pretty hard. I'm glad that it only set its max to 80. It usually goes down to 70 or 60. So this is a thing still, but it seems to be a little bit more aggressive. I'm still using Mad Max, and I'm okay with it. The rain plus the wind, this is probably the worst it's gonna get without heavier rain. So this is a pretty good test for version 14. That is all perfectly clear. It stopped raining. The windshield wipers stopped. Nice. And a deer just ran across the road. The way the car knifes around slower moving traffic that's sitting in the passing lane is magnificent. I love it. I think it's great that it's trying to stay in this lane more. And I think it's great that it's getting away from the merge well before the merge. It's like, oh, there's people over there. I don't care where they are. I'm not even going to try to guess if I'm going to be in their way or not. I'm just going to move over. I think that's awesome. Okay, wipers, calm it down. Thank you. It is 40 here. It's kind of a windy road. 60 is a little bit obnoxious. I'm still in Mad Max, so I'm going to drop us down to hurry. I don't expect a big decrease in speed, but I'm hoping it won't go 20 over. Again, that is too soon. In the intersection, right after the intersection, fine. But the person turning left, back by the light, probably could have thought, what's this guy doing? And gone, and I would have been hosed. So here we are at Charger. It doesn't say any of them are out of order. So it's going to park me in one, and this is the handicapped one, which is kind of sad. They say take this one last. I think I'll let it be. I'm going to go get juicing, and I'll be back to wrap this thing up. All right, so that was my first experience with 14.1.3. I wouldn't say that was horrible, to be 100% with you. I saw some marked improvements. I don't really say there's any regressions, but I can say there's things that they haven't fixed. And some of the things that it's done, I'm very impressed with. I think the thing that's going to annoy me the most is needing to change speed profile modes constantly. And I've mainly been on 55 mile an hour back roads. I haven't done around town too much. Overall, I think they've done a very good job improving the system, and it can only get better from here, really. But the small things that caused big annoyances are still there. Let me know what you think down below. And if there's anything you want to see while I'm doing one of these routes, put that down there too. So if you liked it, like it. If you didn't like it, dislike it. If you think somebody else will like it, share it with them. And if you really liked it, hit the subscribe button so you can see more. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, just leave them down below and I'll get to you as soon as I possibly can. As always, thank you for watching. Deuces. So you can watch this drive last time here, and you can watch what YouTube recommends here. If we hurry up, we can make this. Oh, no we can't, because it's a left light is red. Good thing the car was paying attention.